and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
By way of roll call, all council members are present and accounted for. Our mayor and our city manager are participating virtually. They are away at a Carroll Conference, I believe. The first order of business is the approval of the minutes for August the 7th and August the 12th. Someone make a motion to approve those minutes?
I would like to make a motion to amend the minutes to include the statements that I handed out to you here shortly. And Mayor and Mr. City Manager, I apologize for not getting these out to you. I didn't realize you wouldn't be here. I will read these out. Under new business, point 4, Main Street discussion. There was extensive discussion regarding the dysfunction of the Main Street Advisory Board and the reasons behind it. Consensus was reached that the board should be disbanded and a plan drawn up for moving forward. Very simple, just wanted to be clear about what was discussed. And then I would like to add under public comment pertaining to agenda item that several members of the current Main Street Advisory Board and other stakeholders voiced their concerns over the operation of Main Street Taneytown and offered their opinions regarding the reasons for the issues.
Is there a motion to accept the amendments from Councilman Tillman for the minutes?
Wait, did you make the motion? With
Did I-
those amendments? Is that what you're saying? Okay,
Yes,
then
yeah.
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. Wasn't sure how that.
I missed the first part. You said the.
Yes, I believe I did move to include these two statements.
And there's a second.
Okay, under public comment pertaining to agenda items, this is not a public comment. This is your comment. You're not the public here. So I don't think, in other words, public comment pertaining to agenda items is when folks get up, say their name, and make a statement.
Yes, and this.
What you've got written here is not that.
Is there something in that statement that doesn't describe what happened during the public comment period? Several members of the Main Street Advisory Board and other stakeholders voiced their concerns and opinions and offered, I mean, that's a simple statement of fact. I don't think that there's
I
anything.
think the main concern probably is just the precedent being set for as far as every time somebody stands up to make a comment, whether or not we have to say that, people stood up and said this, or if.
Well, and I don't think that that's necessarily a bad idea. If there, if there is public comment made during that section of the meeting, then I think we ought to be acknowledging what was said. We don't have to give names or a verbatim of what was said, but I think that we ought to at least acknowledge that members of the public came to the podium and spoke. I don't see what's wrong with that.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
We can split these up if you would like and get an approval for the new business, number 4, addendum or
Amendment.
addition.
Yeah.
Does anyone care to address that? Any discussion on the first?
So would you like me to restate the motion to be for the two to be independent?
Let's
Restate them separately?
Restate the motion to have two
All
separate
right,
motions.
so I move to amend under new business, point number 4, Main Street discussion. There was extensive discussion regarding the dysfunction of the Main Street Advisory Board and the reasons behind it. Consensus was reached that the board should be disbanded and a plan drawn up for moving forward.
All right, is there a
And
second to
I'll
that?
restate my second
Okay.
with that.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 And opposed, like sign. And the next amendment would have to do with the public comments pertaining to the agenda items.
So I move
You
that,
move that.
I
Just
move
make
that
a
under
motion now.
under public comment pertaining to agenda items that we add the sentence, several members of the current Main Street Advisory Board and other stakeholders voiced their concerns over the operations of Main Street Taneytown and offered their opinions regarding the reasons for the issues.
Is there a second to that motion?
I'll continue second for the discussion.
All right, it's been seconded. We can begin discussion. Who would like to make some comments regarding the public comments section?
Like I said, I don't necessarily see the issue with it and with it going forward. I mean, we don't get, I mean, what we had here the other night was the most that, or that night, rather, not the other night, because we didn't, nobody here the other night. Was certainly the most that I've seen since I've been here in terms of public comment. And I just think that, if people make the effort to be here and to make a statement, that they ought to at least be recognized that a statement was made.
Mayor Pro Tem, I have one comment if you don't mind.
Sure.
Again, my only concern with this is we've had public comment on multiple items since I've been here at least that has had more people or the same amount of people, and we've never amended the minutes to show the public comment in the way that you're suggesting we show it here.
Anyone else have any comments?
And I don't have necessarily an answer to that. Go ahead, Jim. I'm sorry, Jim.
Okay.
Jim?
So the city clerk and I talked about this item a little bit and thought that perhaps a compromise could be that we simply indicate whether or not there were any public comments presented. That way, someone who wants to see more of what was discussed can, from the minutes, see, oh, there was public comment this month, so I'm going to go to YouTube and look at what it was. Because, rather than just leaving it as public comment pertaining to agenda items, and then you say nothing, we could indicate that there was public comment or that there wasn't. For example, last Wednesday, there was no public comment. We would put that in the minutes, or we would put that there were, individuals, address the council or something very general like that.
I think that's better.
I'm okay. If we want to say that individuals, and maybe not be as specific, but individuals addressed the issue regarding Main Street, Taneytown. That's fine. I didn't want it disappearing into the ether.
Okay.
I amend further my original motion to under public comment pertaining to agenda items, members of the public spoke regarding the Main Street Advisory Board.
I will
How about
second that.
Is there a second to that?
Yes,
Or
that's
she
easy.
seconded it.
I'll second that again.
All right, any discussion there?
I think we've, thank you.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, like sign, so carried.
Thank you, everyone.
All righty. I'd like to ask the council members if there is any conflict of interest before the board tonight. Hearing none, we move on to the ordinances and agreements. And we're introducing tonight ordinance 10-24, Campaign Finance Code Amendment. Would anyone care to make a motion to introduce that ordinance?
I move to introduce.
And a second.
A second.
I second the motion to introduce that ordinance.
Very good. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? So carried. Next is ordinance 11-2024, fiscal year budget, year-end close out amendment for emergency adoption. Could someone care to make a motion to adopt that ordinance?
So Jim, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. Do we have to separate it as adopting making it an emergency adoption first and then doing the actual amendment?
We certainly can do it that way. Last month, we ended up taking a vote for the declaration of it being an emergency, and then for its passage, we did two separate
Yeah, I
motions.
think
and
that
votes.
I would think that would
But-
require separate motions, one for emergency and one for passage.
Okay. Well, then I'll make the motion for ordinance 11-2024 to be put up for emergency adoption.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. So carried. Now, the second part of that, I'm care to make a motion to the emergency nature of this adoption.
I will go ahead and make a motion to approve.
Second.
This is for approval of the,
Fiscal year 24 budget year end.
to be approved as an emergency ordinance first, and then we can approve the
what we just
ordinance.
That's what we just did.
Okay, so we're approving the emergency ordinance first.
Right.
All right, just want to make sure we're clear.
Is there any discussion?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. So carried. Ordinance 12-24, 2024 fiscal year budget amendment, fire company donation. Again, emergency adoption. We probably need to split this one if we're going to split the other one.
Yes.
So is there a motion to pass an emergency adoption for the donation? And a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. And the second part of that motion would be to approve the budget amendment for the fire company donation. Been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Not on that.
Who made the motion? Who's making the motion?
I was gonna say it has,
Yeah, I don't
we'll
think,
do it
In
the
a
same
separate,
way.
yeah, we do it.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll make the motion for the, to approve the fiscal year 24 budget amendment for the fire company donation.
seconded.
All right. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? So carried. And finally, ordinance 13-2024, the fiscal year budget amendment, public safety salary adjustment, again for emergency adoption. I entertain a motion to adopt this as an emergency action. A motion to adopt as an emergency action.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Jim, is this the one where we needed either Councilmember Tillman or Councilmember Cheney to make the motion?
I think for the actual.
For the actual one? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, I will second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Like sign. So the second part of that is to actually adopt the salary adjustment. Is there a motion to adjust the salary for the police, public safety?
I will make that motion to
Or
adopt.
second? Did I get a second? I don't think so. Going once. All right, motion fails due to lack of a second. Moving on to adoption of ordinance 08-2024, fiscal year 2024-2025 budget amendment number 1. Anyone care to make a motion to adopt ordinance 08-2024?
I move to adopt ordinance 0824.
Is there a second there?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 And opposed? So carried. Next for adoption is Resolution 2024-12, the water allocation for September. Anyone care to make the motion to approve the water allocation?
Motion to approve.
And a second.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? So carried. So we come to the city manager's report. Jim, do you have any additional words for us tonight?
Just a quick follow-up to the question that was asked at the workshop, as far as the mailings for the lead and copper service line inventory that we're doing. Just for the public, I know the council members know already, but we've received 655 responses on those service line inventory forms, combination of hard copy and online responses. So we still have a ways to go.
How many did we send out, or how many are we looking for?
So there's about 3,300 accounts, but for properties where one individual or one LLC owned a number of properties, we just sent that owner one notice for all of their properties and tried to coordinate with them. So it's not as bad as statistically it would look for 655 out of 3,300.
Are we,
But it's
is
still
this on a
less than
citywide
30.
basis? I thought that we were only doing this in the areas where there were older connections.
We did do it citywide. There are portions of the city that were built after code required type K copper service lines are really not the concern at this point, but we did send them notice just to try to, build the database.
Okay.
I'm curious too, do you have any feel for what percentage came in electronically versus through the form?
That I do not.
Okay.
Overall, I would say it's a little less than 30%. I think if you look strictly at the number of water accounts we have compared to 655, I think it's a little under 20%. But as I said, we didn't send notices to every individual account either. So that bumps it up a little bit.
Any questions for Jim? Anything further for us, Jim?
No, we can just, I'll pop back on when we get down to the PFAS settlement that we added onto the new business section. So check back in then.
All right, good enough. Department reports. Any questions on any of the department reports from Monday night?
No, sir.
One thing we didn't talk about Monday night, I don't know whether this is a department report or not, probably is. Is there any progress report on the street sweeper? Do we have any kind of ETA or anything regarding when the street sweeper may be on the job?
I believe the street sweeper, we're anticipating delivery in October.
Okay.
Are we going to operate that in parallel with what's going on with the current sweeping contract?
It depends upon how the notice to cure with the current vendor goes. So Public Works is working with the city attorney on that currently. So there could be some overlap there.
Paul, I had a citizen call me or email me and tell me that he was missed again last month, so that's just something to add to the, I can give you details if you want, Jeff.
Okay, thank you.
That's the reason I brought it up. Moving into new business. We have in our packets the monthly financial report. Could anybody make a motion to approve the monthly financial report?
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, so carried. Next is the accounts payable. Do we have any Someone care to make a motion to approve the accounts payable?
I had a question that I did not get the opportunity to ask last week.
Okay,
There was a check for $27,000 for ice cream.
for what, I'm sorry?
For ice cream. The check for $27,000 to P&J Ice Cream LLC. Anybody know what that was for?
I missed that one.
Wait a minute. What page is that on?
$27,442.
Which page?
This is on-
That's building improvement reimbursement for the their share of the renovations they did to that commercial, converting that.
Facade improvement, right?
Well, not facade. They did primarily
It's not.
interior work, but it was the
But
building
it's
improvement
under the
program
same
reimbursement.
program, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments on the financial, or the accounts payable, rather? Is there a motion to approve the accounts payable?
Motion to approve.
And a second.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Less opposed? Like sign. Next, we have a proposal to study the traffic for the Mountain Brook Traffic Impact Study. Does anyone care to make a motion to approve that proposal?
Motion to approve.
I'll second that motion.
Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? So carried. We also have the Cooperative Procurement Participation Plan with the Maryland Department of General Services in our packet, something we've been doing for a number of years. Anyone care to make a motion to participate in that purchasing program?
I move that we continue to participate in that purchasing program.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, like sign. So carried. Next, we have the Verizon lease amendment. Jim, do you want to talk to us about that a little bit?
Sure. Verizon is going to be adding a couple additional antennas on there as enumerated in the lease addendum. Their current lease does give them some ability to add additional equipment. So we're kind of looking at this as any additional revenue that we can generate is better than nothing, because they could play hardball and offer us nothing. So we're pleased at getting the additional revenue of and let's see, I just scrolled right past it. I want to say $150 additional. Yes, $150 a month more. So, and the equipment is listed on the third page there of the antennas and such that are going up.
Very good.
The city attorney has reviewed this and okayed everything.
All right. Anybody have any, or care to make a motion to approve that lease agreement?
Motion to approve.
And a second.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 And opposed, like sign. So carried. Next, it's time for council member reports.
Was Jim going to talk about
Chris,
the
would you
PFAS?
like to,
He's
Yeah.
talking about what?
what?
I thought Jim was going to talk about the PFAS
Oh, wait a minute.
settlement
Would you, what
stuff
did you,
too.
did you
Yes.
have something else, Jim?
'Cause it's-
Yes, actually, I should have done that under legal, but we kind of skipped over that.
No legal one.
So we need to decide if we're going to opt out of the class action settlement
Yes,
for
that's right.
Tyco and BASF. The city attorney brought this up in his legal report last month at the workshop, but then at the meeting, we didn't get consensus from council that we were going to stay in the class action suit. And we need to provide notification to Barron and Bud so that we can get that into the class action settlement website or portal that we use. So we just need consensus that and my assumption is we want to stay in.
I was gonna say, is
so
there any
we don't have
reason
to-
that we would want to get out?
I thought we
Right.
did, but
We can,
Right,
we're
so-
coattail riding for dollars anyway, so why would we not?
Right. So it seems kind of a moot question.
Point, yes.
But there it
But-
is.
But there it is, and answered.
Again.
Asked and answered.
So
So we need a motion to stay in, is that what we're
just the
doing?
consensus.
consensus is good. If we have
Consensus.
that,
I think we did.
The minutes will show that.
Does anyone have
Barron and Bud.
anyone uncomfortable about staying in?
I think not.
No.
I think we're good.
I'd be uncomfortable about
Got
getting
your
out.
consensus.
Right.
Thank you very much.
What else, Jim? Do you have anything else?
No, that was the last one. And thank you, Judy, for the reminder there.
Yep, you're welcome.
Yep. I read that right before I came over here and I forgot
Well, I
it
was gonna say
myself,
it's not
so there you
actually on other
go.
paper, so.
Now it's council member reports.
All right. The Planning Commission has been very busy and will continue to be very busy for the next year or so as we move forward with the comprehensive plan review and revisions. We held our second meeting, and all of our meetings are the Tuesday before the regular Planning Commission meeting on the last Monday. And we set try to finalize the surveys that we're going to be trying to get out to people in order to try to get as much opinion from the public as possible regarding where we should be headed with our comprehensive plan. So that is still out there, and we'll be continuing to work on that again. Hopefully we finalize, we'll be have that finalized for adoption and putting out at our next meeting. There are a couple of Board of Zoning Appeal hearing coming up on the 17th of September. And if anyone has any questions or issues regarding any of those, they should attend. And there were some landscaping issues at both the senior center and at Kenny's Market that have been brought to the Planning and Zoning Office as complaints, and they've been moved. Those are moving forward for correction. We are still awaiting some approvals on the final site plans for Memorial Park. I'm sure Judy will talk about that in a few minutes. VAPCO is moving forward on their site plan for the parking lot on Allendale Lane. Mountain Brook Farms is continuing to move forward, and they were granted concept site plan extension in July, and we hope to see that coming forward soon, along also with Garnet Ridge, which apparently is moving forward a little more quickly. Other than that, I don't think there's anything big out there. I know that the City Police Department asked for a waiver of site plan for they'd like to put up a shed. But the Permits Department at the county has a few things to say about that. And so they're going to be working on bringing that plan up to snuff for the county. And other than that, that's all I got to report.
Thank you, Chris.
Taneytown Police Department statistical reports. For August of 2024, there were 495 total dispatched calls for service, 105 total citations issued, and 158 total warnings issued. There were 7 adult arrests and 6 juvenile arrests. In the month of August, Senior Patrol Officer Jared Marshall was promoted to the rank of corporal. So congratulations to Corporal Marshall on his promotion. In good news, I think we already touched on this before. I was probably too early with it, but on August 6th, the Taneytown Police Department participated in the annual National Night Out. The event was a huge success with numerous vendors and city citizens coming out and supporting the Taneytown Police Department. We would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone that came out and let everyone know that the police department greatly appreciates the community's support. The Taneytown Police Department certified passenger safety technician Haley Ingalls participated in a car seat check at the YMCA in Westminster that was sponsored by the Carroll County Health Department. She has also participated in other car seat checks throughout the month. As far as training, all active patrol officers completed constitutional and community policing and constitutional law. And in specialized training, Private First Class Eccles completed the field training evaluation program on August 19th through August 21st for a total of 21 hours. Private First Class Eccles is now a certified field training officer. Private First Class Leaks and Officer Blaze successfully completed the International Police Mountain Bike Association Police Cyclist Certification course from August 13th through August 15th. Haley Ingalls attended the Media and Public Relations course through the FBI from 8/12 through 8/16, and she successfully completed the course. And Haley Ingalls and Chief Baker attended a Public Information Act training on August 21st, hosted by the Carroll County Sheriff's Office and the Office of the Attorney General. And that's all I have.
So just a quick question, are we headed towards having a bicycle patrol? Is that the reason for the mountain bike certification?
Yes. Yes.
Excellent, thank you, Jess.
As far as economic development, I want to let everyone know that I was very concerned about our workshop and lack of concrete progress, I guess. I met with Mish Friday and talked about it and asked him what the plan was, where he stood, and what he was doing to address the need. You know, we disbanded the Main Street Board last month, and it was a concern that doesn't drag on. I know we've established like a 90-day time frame to get things going. I know Jim has been working on this along with me, and I guess there's things that are going on that tell me that we haven't forgot this. So I'm very pleased to report that. There are plans to visit successful main streets throughout the area and just kind of observe and capitalize on some of the successes that they have. We plan to visit and communicate with a number of towns, and he's given me a list of probably about 8 or 10: Bel Air, Berlin, Brunswick, Frostburg, Havre de Grace, Leonardtown, Middletown, Sykesville, and Thurmont. And all these, Leonardtown is the newest member of Main Street, Maryland, and getting some ideas on that one. The Main Street manager for Berlin was also the Main Street manager for Sykesville, and it's interesting to see that when she was in Sykesville, she was not a city employee. When she's in Berlin, in the same capacity, she is a city employee. So to get a contrast on how this works will be helpful in helping us decide what direction we should go through.
Who's doing these visits? And is there
Jim and Mish.
Is there any opportunity for others to be involved? I mean, this cuts at the heart of everything that was said in July or in August rather, which is that, you know, those involved just see the city going off and doing this without any input from the stakeholders. You know, and here we go right back to doing the same thing. And it's very difficult for those people who are have been left essentially out in the cold here, and who see Main Street continuing on with a clique over here and this group over here gets ignored. And
Well, they,
but that's the feeling amongst those people that are in that other group. And
I think practically speaking, there has to be some substance before anyone can voice their opinion on it. I mean, just simply to be involved in the formation stages, I think the formation of the group in the future will take place after the research is done. There's a survey that's been sent to the downtown businesses that's being analyzed and will be presented. And I think once the information is gathered and put together, there'll be plenty of time for that Main Street contribution to let us know what way we're going to go. We have a Main Street Maryland group that is very active. She attended a meeting in Mount Airy last week for the Region 2 Main Streets, and there's a conference coming up in October in Frederick for the whole state that we're going to participate in. I think the idea of forming I think we need information and input from the successful communities, in my opinion, and take it kind of suggest or pick and choose the best of their ideas and apply them to the Taneytown situation. I don't have any objection to anybody that, wants to offer an opinion. I've got a very pleasant letter in the email today from Paul Kuhn, who expressed some input and concerns, and I think that will be taken into consideration. But I think we have the responsibility as the city to come up with the suggestions and then adapt those suggestions to the will of the Main Street community. So
but
I don't think we're trying to exclude anybody. I think we're
well,
trying to,
but I think but this is
approach this from a professional standpoint, where the economic development director and the city manager are professionals in this, and I think they know what the city's capacities are and how they can best facilitate the future of this group. And I'm sure we'll be willing to listen to anybody who has an opinion, and then weigh that opinion and decide whether it's best for the city of Taneytown. And that's what it's come down to: what's best for the city of Taneytown. And I think that we're heading in that direction. I see effort being made. We're not sitting on our hands. We're not ignoring this. In addition, we received some facade grant money that Mish has talked about, and had folks from other communities help him decide who is going to participate in these grants. And the grants have been awarded, and it's up for the people who receive these grants to complete their work and apply for a reimbursement. But we have a number of needy properties up and down the Baltimore Street and beyond to and Frederick Street and even York Street. So we'll be looking to see how those projects move ahead. We've got a project on East Baltimore, several projects. Well, there's no sense in enumerating them here, but the properties have been watered, and there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 recipients of the award that came in from the state for renovating facades and interiors. So exterior and interior work. So that's going to do something to help our downtown. One of the things is to replace these up in our beleaguered pharmacy building across the street is going to get some attention through these grants, and any number of other folks in town that have applied and have been awarded money. So I'm looking forward to seeing this money put to good use. And that's about all I had for the economic development.
Okay. Public Works, as the city manager reports, the sweeper should be in next month. They will coordinate, of course, everybody will be trained to use it, and they will coordinate the street sweeping with what's going on with our contractor as our attorney weans us out of that contract. Nothing really new to report from Habitat for Humanity. Excuse me. Silver Oak Academy, as everybody is probably aware, has been in the news a lot lately. But I think the most recent news explained exactly what's happening, when it's going to happen. They are diligently working to get the facility open. They are still, they're dealing with the state, so they're still crossing a lot of T's and dotting a lot of I's. But it's expected to be open by the end of this month with about 15 students. They are thus far licensed for males. Let me take that back. They are licensed for both male and female, but to begin with, it is only going to be males. These will be students that do not leave the facility till I come out in the community, but as they progress through the program and show progress, they will work towards that. So it's a work in progress, moving ahead. And that's about it.
All right, let's see. Parks and Rec, the Memorial Park Tot Lot Playground replacement should be finished this week. I have not had a chance to go over and see, but it should be pretty close. If it's not done yet, it will be soon. I know that the lights at THS Park are up, have not seen them on yet, so I don't know how bright they are. Hopefully we won't get any complaints from the surrounding houses. The youth tennis clinics have concluded, and the adult tennis clinics are happening now through September 24th. The yoga in the park sessions for the summer are all finished, but there will be a fall session on Sunday, September 22nd from 10 to 11 a.m. The session is free, but you need to register. And from what I've heard, it's a wonderful program. And the weather should be absolutely beautiful. The summer scavenger hunt has also concluded and was well enjoyed by the community. This was a great partnership with the library, who received the painted rocks that were hid in the parks, and they handed out the prize bags. Not only did this activity get people into the parks, but it also got them into the library, and they were able to take advantage of all the activities and programs that they offered as well. So I think that was a win-win. The Reading in the Parks contest finished with first place going to Catherine Andrews Heiss. Hopefully I've said that right. Second place to Jamie Perry, and third place to Haley Stewart. Congratulations to these winners, who all received prize bags filled with goodies, including gift cards from local businesses. The annual photography contest is running now through the end of October. If you have any pictures taken in our parks, please email them to Lorena. The categories are nature, action, and play. There will be a top prize for the best overall picture and a first and second prize in each of those three categories. Prizes include gift cards and complimentary pavilion rentals. And we have gotten some absolutely wonderful pictures in the past, just gorgeous. The 13th annual Harvest Fest is on Saturday, September 28th from 11 to 3 at Memorial Park. The live music is going to be by Midnight Run. There will be food vendors, pony rides, a petting zoo, bounce houses, games, a straw maze, hay rides, and craft vendors. It's free admission, so come on down to the park and enjoy the day. And then our first ever Birds and Bourbon at Bollinger event will be held on Sunday, September 29th from 3 to 5:30 at Bollinger Park. The bourbon tastings are going to be led by Kimberly Smith Fuentes of the Maryland Whiskey Bourbon Society, and a bird watching walk will be led by David Smith of the Carroll County Bird Club. Limited to 15 participants, and the tickets are $25 a piece and can be purchased through Ticket Leap. And that will do it. That's it? Yep.
Mayor Pro Tem, I have just one thing to say, if you don't mind.
Sure. No, I was going to ask if the mayor had any comments before we adjourn.
All good, thank you. So this Wednesday on 9/11, there's a memorial ceremony held by the Carroll County. It is at the Carroll County Public Safety Training Center in Westminster. If you're able to attend, it starts at 8:30 a.m. to commemorate the 23rd anniversary of the September 11th attacks. Just want to make sure council's aware of it and any of the public who may be watching this.
Very good. Thank you for bringing that up. Jim, do you have anything further before we call for adjournment? There's not. So,
No, sir. Thank you.
there he is. Anything else further, Jim?
He said no.
No, sir.
Okay. And I would like to call for adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
And second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, like sign. Thank you very much for your participation.
Have a good night, y'all.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Sorry, it wasn't a long meeting.
Hey, everyone.